Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. God damn it, Dom.
What did I do?
Everything. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for The Originals, Season 3, Episode 17, Beyond the Black Horizon. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Nikki.
Hi.
And Dom. And Kim.
Hey, so what color's my background?
Many. Fun fact, that background I have set up on my end to make it easier to set the frames up, and it is named Sexy on my desktop. Now on to the episode. I think.
Such a sexy episode.
Yes, it was. There are a couple of things I found not sexy about this episode.
No, the whole thing was sexy.
Alright, most of it was sexy. There was a small part at the end that I was ready to pick the monitor up and just break it in half.
Like, you didn't see that coming? We've been over this.
A small part of me did, and I'm really, really mad about it.
We've been over the whole point of them breaking up Amara and not killing her was so she would get out later.
Yeah, can I say, like, literally the comment I said? I'm like, oh, no. Great.
I knew
the bitch is now going to be a super bitch.
I knew as soon as I saw the second serum bottle, and he only drank one, that it was for Aurora. And that was way back in the middle of the episode.
Maybe it's only temporary and he's gonna have to drink it again.
No.
I really doubt that.
No.
Fuck that bitch.
Especially that we know she's not bricked in that frickin' tomb anymore.
But all I have to say about this is we're starting to get some more werewolf stuff.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, we are.
That was so interesting.
I was so excited to hear that.
I'm descended from one of the original 7 bloodlines of werewolves. This is from Klaus. And then Haley's like, and I'm descended from another.
Did we ever have that information before?
I
don't think so.
If we did, it was really early Vampire Diaries, and it was in a passing by comment that, we didn't really care about.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time I felt like Haley and Klaus's pack whatever together was because these were Klaus's werewolves. Like, I was under the impression that Klaus was from the same bloodline as these werewolves.
Apparently not. Klaus is from one, Haley's from another. There are 5 more. And Lucian now has a fucking bite with the venom of all 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to know that the venom is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to know that, a bite of all 7 can kill a fucking original, apparently.
Yeah.
Well,
So, do you think 7 individual werewolves could bite one original and it would have the same effect?
maybe. I mean, it's been...
Clearly one from each grouping of werewolves,
Yes. But I mean,
maybe.
The actual, venom has been manufactured and combined into one, whereas the venoms, even though they'd be circulating at the same time, aren't one.
Mm-hmm.
They're genetically different.
So, do you think... So they were made out of the white oak, is the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had the bullet.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if the bullet survived the spell or not.
Probably not.
I'm going to assume not.
No,
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that if Amara bit Lucian and Amara, she's not the anchor anymore. If Aurora beat Lucian, or bit Lucian, and Lucian bit Aurora, if that would kill themselves?
Fuck if I know. All I know, and this is heavily established in both shows, lore, is that they are an abomination against nature. They have a weakness. It's there. It's nature's way of correcting itself. And they went into this in the Vampire Diaries with the original's backstory. Vervain, it was the plant at the base of the white oak. That's why vampires are weak to it. She used the power of the sun to, empower the spell, and that's why they can't walk in sunlight. That was nature's way of balancing it out. And because the white oak was the center of the spell, the white oak can kill them. And a whole list of other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, how nature's gonna balance this shit out? You got me.
They're gonna time travel to when the white oak was still there, and they're gonna bring little sprinklings back, and they're gonna plant them all over the place, and they're just gonna grow more, and then they're gonna have lots of ammo.
Who the hell knows what's gonna happen? All we know now is that Lucian was kind of the real bad guy all season. He's been laying low.
I'm hoping that he's just so powerful that he, like, it's like an overcharge, and then he just powers up, and then he fizzles out and dies. Like, he has an expiration date because he's too powerful.
It's possible.
I think it eventually becomes a poison. All of like the venom and everything in his body.
Like, the power just, like, drives him so mad that he implodes.
Well, the last time we saw a manufactured original was Alaric.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How was Alaric killed? I don't remember now.
Alaric's life was tied to Elena's.
And Elena died.
Gotcha.
And Elena, she died.
That's when Elena became a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But she had to die to become a vampire, and her dying killed Alaric.
Yes. Okay.
I'm guessing that, Freya could go behind Lucian and Aurora's back and tie them to the life of another.
I don't know. Freya wasn't involved in the spell, and I think for good reason, because she would have tried to do something or alter or put it.
She was involved in the spell. Her blood is the one who powered it.
Her blood was only there as a link to the Mikealson, the original spell.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only reason for her being there. It was Vincent that cast the spell.
Yes.
Based on the ancestors' wish.
But we know blood is a very, very powerful catalyst in any spell. And since it's Freya's spell and she has all that lore and history behind her that she's the first of a generation, she's a super
It's not
powered
Freya's
witch.
spell.
It's Freya's blood.
I said it's her blood.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, there's all this, backstory. She's super powerful because she's the first of generation. She learned to control her powers, but she could blow up the earth kind of thing. I think she's going to come into play big time.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is a modified version of Esther's spell.
It is.
Definitely.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
It's just like
They pretty much stated that it was.
And that was
it's like where do you get the werewolf venom? Like, how do you work that into the spell like that to make him a hybrid? Like, that's not how Klaus was already,
Yeah, he
a
was,
vampire.
Yeah.
I mean, a werewolf going into that.
I honestly don't know.
Because we know that the whole werewolf thing is genetic. To make them a hybrid, it seems like that's where the weak link's going to be. That's what I'm thinking. Like, he's just going to be so powerful that he's going to disintegrate because they can't control it.
It's possible that he has no werewolfism in him anywhere. It's just that his bite contains that venom as part of the spell. Like,
Possibly.
That is true.
that could have just been, a little. It's like an addendum.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, that wouldn't make him a hybrid then.
No, it wouldn't make him a true hybrid.
And I would think that it would eventually kill him. I mean, that's just my...
And if he's not that would make
What if the venom is killing him?
Well, you know what? If he's not a true hybrid, that would make, as Kim, Nikki, whoever brought it up at the beginning of this podcast, that would make the bite from the other one lethal.
I did.
Yeah, Dom did. Sorry, that would make the bite, the bite
The
from
only
Aurora
choice you
lethal.
didn't mention.
We were just talking about the poison, or like...
Sorry.
Or what
Power
if
himself.
Lucian, like, accidentally bit his own lip?
He's fucked.
You know?
That would be the most ridiculous way for a villain to die in anything, but he's
It's
fucked.
Do it.
perfect
It
for
would be
Lucian.
hilarious,
Do it.
buddy.
It'd be perfect for Lucian. It really would be.
He's just, like, seething in anger and bites his own lip, and it's like,
And then Aurora, she dies because she was biting her nails because, she's super paranoid and
Crazy
anxious.
ass bitch.
And she's crazy. She nips the tip of her finger and is like, oh no.
So, let's talk
I'm
about.
dying. I'm melting.
what a world.
Let's talk about Finn in this episode.
They tried to make it so that we feel sympathy for him.
But nobody
They really,
cares.
really tried.
How many times are they going to kill Finn?
I don't know.
I think
felt
this is the
sad.
last.
It
You
was
think
a very
so?
sad moment.
I mean,
I wouldn't count him out. I wouldn't count
When-
anybody out in this show.
when he died, I wasn't sad, but I felt when they were even when Cole's like, "I hate you, but here you go, brother."
Yes, I
At the
felt
very
sad
end.
for all of the Mikealsons.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't feel sad for Finn.
Finn wanted
Finn-
to.
that's
He
what Finn
wanted it out
wanted.
anyways.
So
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wanted. This was his freedom. Like he
Yes.
pretty much gave up. He accepted that he was dying, and he was okay with it. I think
just
he's
love
been-
the interaction between him and Matt was like, "I'm really bad with names, but didn't I kill you already?"
yeah, I know. It's like, oh wow.
I did mention that last podcast that there was going to be an altercation between
Yeah.
Matt and Finn because
Yeah.
Matt was the one who offed him.
It
Yep.
was great. Absolutely great.
I love that Matt's all high and mighty, like, I just finished clearing this town out of vampires. Eli's just like,
Because
it's like, this could go one of two ways. We go about our business, or violent disembowelment. And I'm just like, ooh, I want to see that one.
so we were talking about timeline when we were doing the Vampire Diaries podcast, and he said recently cleared it out. Okay, so but before there was nobody walking around. It was dirty. It was like things were falling apart. Things were burning. So it couldn't be that recent. There had to be at least 6 to 8 months between when Julian's vampires skedaddled and when Matt cleaned up the town and got people back.
Yeah, it was somewhere during the 3 years that Damon was sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah, because Julian's vampires are gone. The town looks like it's back to normal. There's people. It's hustle and bustle and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
unless Matt's magical, like a miracle worker.
And we just didn't know it for the last how many years.
It's like, all right, last vampire's out of
just hit
town.
him.
Bam, lift the quarantine. There's no more mine fire. It's out. It snuffed itself out. Everybody come back home. Let's go.
And I never thought I'd say it, but like, what a great character to do in a crossover when you don't really know where the other characters have been. We know Matt's been consistent. He's still a police officer. He's been a police officer the whole time. He's the perfect character to do the crossover. Anybody else wouldn't have worked.
He is
you
the
know?
only character where we know exactly, more or less, where he's been for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's
But
great.
like, Matt, what are you doing? Like, you're holding a gun that I'm assuming has wooden bullets in it.
Yeah, and he
At
knows
2
he's
originals?
pointing it at originals. He knows it's
Threatening
only
them?
gonna
Now,
the teensy bit.
they're going to
Matt-
slow them down.
Matt staked Finn already. He said it. He knows. He knows exactly what they have to be staked with. It's not like he got lucky.
He knows that the wooden bullets will slow them down, or even incapacitate them. They're not going to kill them. And
There's a
as soon
chance
as he
that they-
shoots the one, there
He
is
said
no
they're hollow
way.
point, too.
Yeah, well, so they're going to splinter off into many pieces,
Yeah.
but there is no way Matt shoots at Finn or shoots at Elijah, doesn't matter. The second he
one's-
pulls that trigger, he is not fast enough to shoot the second one. The other one's going to be on top of him, ripping him in half.
And because they're originals, I've seen them catch wooden bullets before and just toss them aside.
Yes, they've
So
caught bullets before.
yes,
So the chance he's going to shoot one, it's going to either hit him and take him down, or he's going to catch it, and the other one's going to literally split Matt down the middle, which I would have loved to have seen, but they're not going to kill off Matt
but
Donovan.
he was safe because we've seen it. It's
We've seen him in the future in the Vampire
Oh.
Diaries. He's the token human character in that show. They can't kill him, guys.
well, you know what? We thought Cammy was the token human character.
Yeah, look what happened.
And then she's a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like more of like when and how they're gonna tie these timelines together because they're gonna have to with Vampire Diaries ending next season.
I think they're totally working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
The timeline's already further than I thought it was. I was thinking it was like directly after all that stuff went down in Mystic Falls with Julian. Like, I didn't think it was that far forward.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the ancestors. And how they are
In-
probably this show's this series, not, just this episode of this season, this series' main villain.
They're gonna be the overarching pain in the ass coming in the next season.
How do you get rid of things that are in a completely different dimension?
How do they even exist right now with the other side gone? Like, I still don't understand that.
I think they're their own thing.
Like, I know there's consecrated grounds and the witch, but it's still like the other side. It doesn't make sense to me.
I honestly think they're their own like voodoo, whatever.
I think, yeah, because they are voodoo, they have their own thing. Because I had that question too, because, Bonnie's ancestors and everything, they went with the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking the New Orleans witches are not connected to the other side at all. They
Yeah.
have their own realm.
Well, they had that stupid fucking sacrificial ritual with the ancestors and all
Yes.
that, that we saw in season 1
It's
with
possible
Davina.
they're linked to some physical object or objects in the graveyard in the City of the Dead,
A dark object that cameos.
or maybe even that.
Yeah.
The ancestors have been around way longer than the dark objects.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Could be a
We
dark
don't know.
object that
Some of
has
those
been
dark
around.
objects were made by the originals themselves.
Some were made by
Yeah,
Cole.
Cole. They were
Yeah.
made by Cole.
I think almost all, if not all of them.
All of them are made by Cole. Okay, well, so it's totally plausible that these objects are older than they are.
For all
it's
we know
Cole's fault.
that Finn and Cole could have conspired to try to do something to reach out to Esther, and that's what created this ancestral dark object.
The world, and
I don't know. I feel them like ancestors. I feel like ancient, weaving straw to make your beds and stuff like that old. Going back as far as at the originals, further than that when they were born.
It's
Even
possible.
Was New Orleans
No.
established back then?
no,
Well,
but it
no,
doesn't
but
mean
the
witch
area-
line.
because it still could be the
There were
area.
Native Americans in the area.
Yeah.
Right, I get that, but they would be Native Americans and
The Native
not
Americans
witches.
are not witches, so those
Yeah,
would be the
you're right.
shamans. So the witches are going to be something completely different. You're going to start to see where, but still we would see so it would be later though. It would be when you started seeing plantations and stuff like that
Right.
with the voodoo and
that is
the culture.
definitely after they settled
way
there
after.
as the Vikings.
I mean,
so.
you're looking at the 1800s and stuff. So, yeah.
And I mean, even if they started, say, in 1800, all these witches, when they die, they consecrate them, they become part of the ants. Their spirits linger around. Hundreds, thousands of witches dying over the last 200 years. That's a lot of witches to conglomerate
It
into
is.
one,
Yeah.
group of ancestors.
And do you think Cole is part of the ancestors now or no?
I don't know what the deal. They cursed him. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. He ended up in their world somehow.
He was
They
in there.
cursed him. He's in a vampire's body. That's where I'm.
Didn't he die actually in that graveyard?
Yes, I think he did.
So I think that's how he got connected and thrown into their world.
Into their
And then-
realm.
Yes, because he's not connected to any of those witches because his line is up by Mystic Falls.
Right.
Yeah, but Esther was consecrated and turned into an ancestor.
But Cole wasn't. But Cole did die in that graveyard, so it's possible that's how they nabbed his spirit.
It could be some blood connection.
I mean, it's still kind of vague. We haven't had this all explained to us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying right now, Cole's current death.
Mm-hmm. Well,
did he die and come back as an ancestor that we don't know about yet? 'Cause
it's
it's still soon.
as far as
Well, I
we
mean,
know, he
he's-
is Cole Mikealson in his original vampire body, and he's cursed the same way that.
Wait, you mean Finn?
Or not? Yeah, I meant Finn. Sorry.
Okay.
I just really want to talk about Cole, but yeah, I meant Finn.
Yeah, I was confused for a second.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Who knows? It's possible.
It would just seem like he was a vamp. If he were in a human body, if he would have transferred when Davina, before Davina locked him in, he would have been an ancestor.
Yeah, but Cole died before as a vampire and then came back in a witch's body and had his witch magic. So it's tied to the spirit too.
Right.
I don't know, Julie, you got some splaining to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Cole is going crazy because he's been cursed. I mean, Cammie's the one to
Yes.
point that out, because he's got the same look in his eyes. He's got the crazy eyes.
It
And
makes a lot of sense why he's having so many problems.
and Davina said she
Yeah.
tested his blood, and it's got the ancestors' magic all over it.
Yeah.
Those
Yes.
jerks.
They're really, they're really using that no magic zone, that bar right now. Like, they're banking on it.
They couldn't get the Davina, so let's fuck with the thing she loves most. So now Vincent is pissed because the ancestors hijacked him and forced him to do this, this, like, basically
Well,
they made a deal.
I just want to point out that the magic bar that they're using, we know it stays intact 3 years into the future.
Right, because it's still there.
So, and it's still
mean,
functioning.
I think it's the actual area, not exactly the building. It's just that zone is anti-magic, and they just happen to build a shelter there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't they throw up a boundary or something? I thought Freya, like...
Was it?
I think Freya did it.
Okay.
It was last season.
Right, yeah. Okay.
And Dahlia was slowly breaking through it.
Yeah, they did that to stop Dahlia, and I think it's just stuck ever since
Okay.
now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Mystic Falls was an anti-magic zone.
Right.
But this
while.
isn't anti-magic, this is...
Null magic.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, Vincent's pissed because this whole Lucian being a super original came about because the ancestors forced him to do it. Because Lucian made a deal. You give me the spell that their mother used to turn them into vampires, and I will kill all of them. And the ancestors really don't like the Mikealsons. Probably because most of them were alive when the Mikealsons ran New Orleans in the 1800s.
Probably sure that a lot of them died by their hands.
Very true. Most of them were probably killed by Klaus.
Well, we do know that Marcel had a big hand in killing off a lot of witches too, so...
So they don't like them very much.
No.
But Vincent kept saying, you're making a mistake.
I just thought of something.
What?
If Tristan starts creating new vampires, this is a whole new bloodline.
Lucian, you mean?
Or Lucian, yeah.
Yes.
So then if he dies, that whole bloodline gets wiped too.
That's
Probably.
how originals work.
Right, but now... Would they still be functioning regular vampires because the spell was altered? Or are they going to be all offspring?
I have a
What
feeling
if they're all offspring and they're all originals instead of super originals? They all turn into originals.
Who the hell knows?
That would be crazy.
I have no idea which way they're going. All I know is...
I like my travel back in time thing. Grab a couple springlings from sprigs or whatever from the white oak tree and planting them all over and letting them grow because
I think
they're going to need it.
I think it's a little crazy for them to try to open up, like, time travel.
No, I know.
But more of, like, I could see Freya reaching back into the past and pulling an object back than physical time travel. I could see maybe something like that, like, she's able to reach in and snap a branch off the tree or something.
Or we'll just magically find another one, hang it out somewhere.
Here's my theory. Because now Vincent and Davina are teaming up to eliminate the ancestors. They want them gone. My theory is, in the season finale, Lucian is going to be standing there cackling like, the supervillain in any fucking thing we've ever... The Bond villain explaining his intricate plans to, Klaus before he kills him. Vincent's gonna show up, figure out a way to channel all the powers of the ancestors, and just, like, obliterate Lucian, but at the same time obliterate the ancestors. That's the vague idea. I'm not getting I don't know the details.
I think what they're gonna have to do is bring Tristan back and figure out how to deactivate that ward, that rune, that device.
And throw Lucian in there with them.
And put Lucian and Aurora in there.
That's a good idea. And we all did...
If they can't be killed any other way, that's the best way to contain them.
Right, it's true.
Clearly bricking Amara up in the wall did not work very well.
You keep calling her Amara.
Okay.
Clearly breaking her up.
Clearly breaking the anchor into the wall didn't work.
We were all so happy, but at this, I think all four of us said that episode, you should have killed her.
Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure we all.
Cammy said it too.
Cammy was flipping out because he didn't do it.
She was flipping pancakes.
Cammy's just gonna walk up and be like, "I fucking told you so."
Dude, her, Bonnie, and Damon would be great because she was just fucking flipping pancakes over there. She was so mad.
Just grab Klaus by the face, be like, "How are you so fucking basic?"
She kinda did tell him that.
Kinda, yeah.
In bigger words.
Yeah.
A lot more bigger words.
He was like, I want her to be tortured and live like this forever. And
That's a great sentiment. It's going to
maybe
come back and bite you in both ass cheeks.
He's
Well,
very
maybe
good about
he-
doing shit that bites him in the ass.
Maybe he learned his lesson this time.
Let's hope.
Probably not.
No. Come on, it's Klaus.
Do you want the show to end?
Is there
No.
anything else
Well, then
to...
he can't learn anything.
I know.
True, he can't learn.
No, he's gonna continue to live off revenge and be an idiot.
He needs to paint more pictures.
Go back to painting. You were happy
Maybe
with
he
your
should
painting.
change some more diapers.
Not true.
There you go.
I hope he owns an art gallery in the future.
He seems to be doing really well with Hope and
And Haley.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they seem to be on good terms. She just said, go help your family. I got this. It's good.
Yeah. It's like I
And-
kind of
and-
wanted to see what, this would be like, and I've seen it. Go help your family.
And he's going to go back. Obviously, we kind of already know.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, anything about this episode that we missed at all?
I know, Cammy having her flip out with Cole.
oh yeah, because Cole was getting all.
Cole.
Yeah, they use the dark object to send Finn a message.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they could link.
The blood link.
Yeah,
Or
the
the
blood
soul-
link
the-
between him and Vincent.
Blood soul link or whatever.
So
But-
when we say Vincent, it's actually true
Still is
because
true.
they're still linked.
I hope killing Finn killed Vincent too.
It didn't.
I'm sure
I'm
it
hoping.
It did not.
And
Wait,
Davina,
positive.
We need Vincent to undo this mess.
Yes,
I
we
like
do.
Davina putting her foot down, just like with Cole. She stood up to him multiple times, and Cole
Yeah.
actually listened. And,
'Cause
when she
Cole
told him,
loves her.
I
Cole
mean,
yeah.
was
Oh,
potentially
yeah, it's-
cursed.
And until Cole completely loses control because of the curse, he's still gonna listen to her.
I wonder what kind of curse.
I think
Curse.
I
Curse.
think it's the same curse they put on Father Kieran.
yeah, it seems very similar. It's just gonna react differently because he's a vampire.
Yeah, she said the last time she saw the look in that eyes was then.
Mm-hmm.
Cammy would know best, and
Because she's watched 2 family members go through it.
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna literally break whatever heart I have left to watch Cole die again.
You know he's gonna.
No, I don't.
Maybe not. I mean, I have high
If
hopes.
anybody can cure him, it's going to be Davina.
True.
After everything Davina did to get him back, she's not going to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Very
yeah.
true.
And now that we know where the curse came from, they have a source to start looking.
Also very
we
true.
did not have that information before.
Right, now we know it came from the ancestors.
Yep.
Those twats.
Whoa.
Hey, if the shoe fits.
Exactly. Anyway, next episode.
What kind of shoes does that wear?
Next episode is called The Devil Comes Here and Sighs. As the city celebrates its annual Jazz Fest. Ooh, wow, Jazz Fest.
So
And-
we're gonna see Matt Murdock?
No.
Oh.
I get it. As Matt Murdock's going to show up, stand on a roof, and just go. So as the city celebrates its annual Jazz Fest, an unlikely team of Mikealson foes, join forces to take Klaus hostage. Leading the charge to get their brother back, Elijah and Freya face off against a powerful force like none they've ever seen before. Lucian.
Matt Donovan.
While Haley and Cammy set their own risky plan in motion to rescue Klaus. Meanwhile, when Cole's erratic behavior worsens, Davina has no choice but to turn to Marcel and Vincent for help.
I just jokingly, when I said Matt Donovan, I was like, they need to turn Matt into a vampire before the show's over, so
Oh
he
my
can hate
gosh.
himself.
He
Yes.
went off himself.
He would off himself. He'd just stand out in the sun and be like,
Poof.
He would do exactly what
There's a lot of
Caroline's
sighing
father
going
did.
on.
it really is.
Caroline's father didn't even choose to transition. He just died.
He did.
I think Matt would take that same road.
Well, didn't Elena's father do the same thing when he was a vampire?
Jonathan?
That was her
Jonathan
uncle.
Gilbert.
Oh, yeah, that was her actual biological father, yeah.
David Anders?
Yeah.
Yeah, David Anders.
Did he choose to go out that way too?
Pretty sure he burst. I know her mother did.
I
Oh,
thought
well, her mother took off her ring and just threw it.
He burst in that weird abandoned house that they were in.
oh,
Out in the middle of the woods. I thought he burst walked outside and just burst or something.
I
don't remember. It's been so long.
I thought
forever.
Catherine killed him.
I thought Catherine killed him too.
I don't remember. I do know that her mother took off her ring because Elijah compelled her to. Or Klaus did. One of them compelled her to do that.
Yes.
That's all I remember. I don't know.
I'm gonna look.
He's looking.
No, yeah, Catherine killed him, and then he came back because of the ring. He was wearing the Gilbert family ring at the time. I do remember him bursting. Yeah, he got turned into a vampire, I thought, and he willingly walked out into the sun.
He 100% was a vampire. I know that much. I just can't remember.
I think that's how he died. Because I could swear I remember a scene with him bursting into flames.
I know there's other things that we should talk about. It's just...
I'm just more interested in the werewolves. Like that.
Yeah, that was really like
We've seen so much of the originals as the vampires. I need to know more about the werewolves because there's so many questions left, and with Vampire Diaries coming to an end, we're never going to get an answer, and that's not really the show to get the answer anymore. Like this show is the originals; it deals with all that stuff, and this show is the one that's heavily dealt with werewolves. Werewolves were just like a flash in the pan on the Vampire Diaries. Right? They came and went as it was needed, and we never saw them again.
Wait, we saw a little bit here and there because of Tyler, but it's
Yeah,
not ingrained into the storyline like it is with Klaus, because he's part werewolf.
I think we got more about werewolves this episode than we have in a whole season.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It was only like 5 minutes of screen time, too.
Hey.
Hey, that's great. That's pretty good writing right there. All that exposition stuffed into 2 lines.
Yep.
But, you know, it does open up more because, I mean, really all we know about werewolves is they've existed for hundreds of years before vampires did.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly thousands.
We don't know how long werewolves were around before vampires.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I believe...
Wait, Jonathan Gilbert, that wasn't...
No, Jonathan Gilbert was the one that made the journals. He was the...
What was David Anders' character on Vampire Diaries? Because that was Jeremy's father, not...
I want to say Uncle Ben, but that's the wrong uncle.
That's rice. We're not eating rice.
No, David Anders was.
I thought he was Jonathan.
Was he Jonathan?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, Jeremy's dad was Jonathan.
Yeah.
I mean, Gilbert, yes, but...
He was a Gilbert, but he was the uncle.
Or was he also John Gilbert?
No.
He's John Gilbert, not Jonathan Gilbert.
Oh, was he?
Right, yeah, he was John Gilbert. I thought, you know,
okay, that's
Jeremy's father was a different Gilbert.
He's John Gilbert II.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I think that's our episode. That's our show.
Yes. I mean, I want to mention how Finn thought he killed Lucian, but really just completed the spell.
You know, I was gonna bring that up before, and we got off, you know, onto other stuff about the episode. He sealed the whole deal because, like, I think Lucian was counting on that too. It's like, which one of you can get to me first?
He wanted to die, but he wanted them to kill him so he could come back and have the spell completed. That was the end of the spell.
Right. Which, you know, one of you thinks you're quick, you know, can get to me before I rip her head off. And then he grabs Matt's gun and shoots him twice through
Freya.
Through Freya.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, you clever bastard. And dies.
He wasn't expecting to go out that way, but...
He definitely wasn't.
No.
Oh, Elena almost died, and John used his energy to resurrect her. That's what it was.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good with that. But now Finn's dead.
I think he was a vampire.
But now Finn is gone.
Probably for goodses.
Let's go.
We snagged Cole back from the other side just in time before the place collapsed, thinking Finn's gone forever, and Finn still fucking rides coattails on his way back, and now his body's been turned to ash. We've seen original bodies destroyed before Finn and Cole, yet they still come back. So I don't care if they fucking put it in a blender, fed it to the dog, had him shit over the bridge, out to sea, and the salt water petrified into wood, and then some trout ate the wood and shit that out into little further pellets of shit. Like, Finn will be back in like 2 seasons.
All right, then.
Huh.
Wow.
And then it floats into Tristan's crate, and he accidentally gulps it in when he's drowning.
Yep, that's where all the ashes went. They just went right into Tristan's storage locker.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he has so much time on his hands that he pieced together all those ashes and made a full
This is
form
why
body
B
again.
writes the fan fiction, because it is actually interesting.
I don't know, I like ours better.
All right, then. That's our show. When we get into fan fiction. Nikki,
Yes.
my dear, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYVenom24.
Dom?
It's right there.
You down here. Do.
Kim?
Shit. HFFIQIPUFFIQI.
You
I need
can
a
find
lighter.
all of us. You can find me at Bear, Thilindrin, Twitter. You really both fucking me up here. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us there for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a good night.